Hey Facebook world, it's Stephanie here again. I did my first live last Tuesday, and so here I am doing a second live, and maybe they'll become a weekly thing. So one of the things that's been coming up now again recently, I was at a wedding this weekend and got to reconnect with a lot of my college friends and a lot of my dance friends because we were all on a dance team together. And we were talking about the body and the mind and the connection between the two and how sometimes we get so attached to what our mind or our ego thinks, and really we should be attaching to our soul and our body. And it got me thinking about being a dancer and now being a yogi and movement and creativity. And as I was leading one of my classes yesterday with my advanced dancers, we were talking about choreography and improvisation, and my students just had brilliant things to say about the purpose of improvisation and connecting to your creativity. And we were talking about intent in choreography, and if we have an intention for a piece and we start moving to get through that intention and creating choreography and all of that, what happens if what's coming out of the body is going away from that intention? And is that okay? And how should we deal with that? And one of my students was saying how improvisation is really the key to going deeper into what we really want. And once we connect with our intuition and our instinct or our guts, and we continue to work through it with the body, we get to the real juicy stuff. And that's really kind of like what life is about, right? So, I think a lot, and I think one of the reasons why God and the universe made me a dancer is because I need to really get out of my head sometimes, and I think we can all kind of relate to that in different scenarios in our life. And so when I'm dancing or I'm taking a yoga class, it takes me out of the ego or the mind and the brain and the thoughts and the intellect and into what my body is doing. And when we can really connect to what our body is feeling and thinking, and it gives us signs, it definitely does, then that's when we know what to go for or what to detach from, what to let go. Our bodies are amazing things, and so many times now in our world, I feel like we just kind of forget about them. And I was thinking about this because, fitness is a really big thing and going to the gym. And though I think that does help to work things out and, keep us fit and keep us healthy, there's something about taking a dance class or a movement class or a yoga class where there's this more spiritual, creative side to it that really allows you to connect with your soul and tap into these deeper levels that I don't really think the gym can give us. I'll admit I'm not the most avid gym goer, but I have gone to the gym a lot of times, and I just don't feel you get the same sort of thing. Running, I think, is a great example of a mixture of in between. Because when you're running, you really can get into that meditative place and you're connecting to your soul on a deeper level. And so this idea of attachment versus detachment came up, and really telling myself and reminding myself to go back to my practice of what I learned from when I was 2, being a dancer, of working it out with the body. Detach from what the mind is saying, because a lot of times our mind is going off of what other people tell us or what we were taught to believe, and not what we believe, not what we feel. And our body is the only thing that can really teach us what we believe and how we feel. And so this week, in the next 7 days or so, maybe before I do my next live next week, tap into your body, see how that feels. When you get that knot in the stomach, that's telling you something, right? When you're feeling tight in the chest, that's telling you something. When your shoulders are getting tense, that's telling you something. When you're feeling really open and expanded in the chest, that's also telling you something. You're open, you're more welcoming, you're excited maybe about the people that are around you. So all of those things, tap into what your body is saying. And kind of tell the brain to shut off, right? Because the ego is going to want to get in there and kind of analyze it for you and rationalize it for you. And believe me, that is what happens to me all the time. But what if you use some of those, well, I guess I haven't gotten into them in these live sessions yet, but some of these kind of thought stopping exercises, just telling your brain to stop, take a big breath, and just feel what your body is doing, and then go with that, and practice attaching to your body more, which then is attaching to your soul. And when we can do that, then we get into a better alignment. So that's kind of my message for this week, and that's what I'm going to plan to do. And I'm actually going to go to a yoga class right now so that I can, be accountable for the words that I'm telling everybody else. So if you want to learn more about how to attach to your soul and your alignment in your body and try to detach from your mind and your ego, I would love for you to reach out. Feel free to leave comments. You can email me at Stephanie at stephanie-simpson.com. You can visit my website. I love to hear from you and any questions you have. And I'm hoping to make these live chats a weekly thing. So if you have any questions about things or suggestions for topics, please feel free to send those as well. Have a lovely night, Facebook world.